Think they'll let us through before that barge? They're going up. They are going up. Why don't we go up there and take a look? Anybody try to talk to him? Really? I'm honestly gonna give this maybe 2 hours.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I don't need them. I'm about to put that down.
All right.
I know I put it wrong with bottom.
Well, let's get in there before we get. Thanks, man. You too. This way?
Wherever you want to go, man.
Alright. I'm just kind of working up to, well, basically casting at that patch. I want to cast right in front of your boat.
You're alright, dude. It's going to be that way anyway. You know what to do.
Yep.
Just throw wherever you got to throw, and I'm going to do the same.
If they come up blowing up.
That's what I'm saying. You throw wherever you got to throw.
Yep. Thought for sure they'd be chewing their head off this morning. There you go.
Right here, Angel.
Yep. As soon as I pick up something else, it'll start blowing up. I gotta move up a little bit. You'll get them. You'll get them. Take your time with them. Saw that. Saw that.
They're just not staying on, dude.
That's a giant, dude. That's a giant.
Popped out of the net.
Oh my gosh.
4 pounds.
Oh. bigger one. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. You should have seen, I had opportunities. It took me forever to figure out what they wanted. I caught everything that bit. I'm so beyond frustrated though, for real. What's that? 3:15. I got time. I'm not, but just the fish that were there were biting and I couldn't get them to go. I couldn't get them hooked. Not a good one. Maybe a keeper. 14. How do you be 14? Hey. You got it dangling. 209. I cut that one a little close. Well guys, that's a wrap for day number 2. Exciting start to the morning. I really wish I could have capitalized on those schooling fish. There's definitely some baits that I'm praying that I get to go tomorrow, just because I know some things that I would do differently. It's in God's hands now. I caught a ton of fish this afternoon. Just could not put the size together. I didn't get those big bites in that area like I did yesterday. That's fishing. Once again, the Mississippi River has made it very difficult for me. I just have so much to learn out here, and living in Wisconsin, I think I need to start taking more advantage of just coming over here and fishing. But you know, I'm praying this isn't the end of my season. I'm praying that I do get to go tomorrow by some miracle. But these guys catch them, and they catch them really good everywhere. I bet I'm gonna have around 23 pounds total. I'm gonna be about a pound short where I think I need to be. But like I said, it's in God's hands. I don't know what everybody else caught. That's the cool part about this sport. I might be surprised. But it is what it is. We put the work in and we busted our butt. We literally fished to the last second that we could. Tried to make it happen. And we'll put these fish on the scale and see what they weigh, see where we sit. Hopefully it's a lot better than I think.
Yeah. Hey, Sean.
Little baby. Mixed bag though, so that's cool. Our little baby. I love smallmouth bass. Another one. That one. That one. That's what's up.
That's what I wanted to say.
Andrew Banky, come on up. Guys, don't forget your Bubba scales. I need all Bubba scales turning right over here to the white Toyota. As you can tell, we got a lot of them. All right, Andrew Banky, man, a pleasure having you this year. You got 11-4 from yesterday, 12-7 today. 41st place right now at 23-11. 23-11.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to sit. I mean, I'm in the
Yeah.
inside. I'm praying that it does.
Sure.
But it's been an awesome year fishing.
Yes, sir.
I can't say enough to my sponsors. Thank you so much. Great to end the season in the home state. Hopefully I get to go fishing tomorrow.
You got it. You got it. Andrew, thank you so much, man. Come on.
Well, that is a wrap for the last Major League Fishing Invitational of the year on the Mississippi River. I think disappointed for me is an understatement. You know, being that I had some history there, it's the first place we went all year that I kind of had that I had history. I didn't kind of had a history. I had history there. And it didn't work out very well for me. You know, the bites I was getting in practice were pretty dang good. I figured in practice I could catch anywhere between 12 and a half and 14 pounds between largemouth and smallmouth, you know, and it just didn't work out like that. The schools of smallmouth that I found in practice, they did their typical smallmouth game and they up and moved, or the conditions weren't right, and I just couldn't capitalize on it. And the largemouth just didn't really, like, I just had to fish around so much to get quality bites, and I just didn't have the confidence to do that or the time to do that between bites that I had in practice. I mean, I would go a long ways just putting the trolling motor down and going and fishing before I'd even catch a keeper or 2.5 or 2 1/4 or anything like that. So I just felt like I just didn't have a lot of confidence doing it, so I didn't do it. I hunkered in on, you know, a well-known spot, threw something that I felt like other people weren't gonna throw, and I ended up catching a lot of fish, especially on day 2. I caught a lot of fish, just couldn't get a bite bigger than 2 1/4, and I knew I needed a 3-pounder or better. So it is what it is. That's the end of the year. As you can tell, I'm unpacking the boat. This thing's gonna get sent off to a new home because the new Bass Cat is in, and we're about to get started rigging that thing up and getting that ready to roll out, get everything all dialed in and ready before water gets hard up here, so we can be good to go for the 2024 season. But yeah, I'll break down some of the techniques and tackle that I was using for you guys here real quick. One of the key baits that I was using during practice to help me try and find fish was a swing head jig. You know, this is one of my staples that I always have rigged up anytime crayfish come into play. That's a Missile Baits Green Pumpkin D-Bomb on there. I had the tails dipped in a little bit of orange just to give it a little bit of contrast, a little bit of different color. 20-pound Seagar Abrazex, a 6.1 gear ratio reel rigged on a JB3 Sea Pony. This is a 7'7" heavy fast action rod. Slower gear ratio reel. I wanted to be able to make long casts, and it also helps pick up a lot of line just because I wanted to make sure with this light enough head I could keep bottom contact. This thing was a bite getter for me. It didn't really play as much in the tournament as I thought it was going to. Another bait that didn't really play in the tournament that I caught a lot of fish on in practice was just your evergreen shower blows, topwater walking baits. These fish just got super finicky. You know, you'd come up on them, and in practice you could throw a walking bait over there in the middle of the school and they would just come unglued on it. I just couldn't seem to have that luck when it came to the tournament. I didn't catch a legal bass on a topwater bait in the entire event, and that's probably what I got majority of my bites on in practice. So that was just one of the techniques I was using. And this probably was the biggest one for me. I can't say it was a moneymaker, but it was definitely a key. And I was using a couple different things, like a Missile Bait Suicide Shad, but it was on just a small swim bait on an 1/8 ounce head. You know, I threw a Kitech. This is a Gambler little swim bait, but they were eating tiny shad. And I had it on 15-pound braid to a 15-pound Invisex, Seagar Invisex leader on a spinning rod on the JB3 Judge. This is a 7'4" medium, moderate, fast rod. I caught a lot of fish on this and a lot of different kinds of fish. I mean, I caught largemouth, smallmouth, walleyes, drum, crappie. This thing was a bite getter for me, and I caught big fish doing this. I think I lost one on it that was probably 3 3/4, close to 4 pounds on day 1. But yeah, this was definitely a deal for me. This is definitely a bite getter. Another swim bait, I did throw 3-3 Kitech, a little bit bigger on a heavier head when I was fishing up shallow for those schoolers, which you see that I did catch one 3.5 pounder doing it, but I just could not get him to bite it. It was so frustrating watching them blow up around me and not be able to get him to bite. I saw one swirl. I pitched the bait over there. It hit the water. I cranked it 2 times and the rod just loaded up. But with the wind that was blowing, it was kind of hard to throw something a little bit smaller, and I couldn't get it to them. They were schooling so far away from the boat. I couldn't throw this tiny little thing into the wind. That's why I went to a heavier head and a bigger swim bait to just help me bomb that bait to him, get the bait to him. But yeah, this tiny little dude was definitely a big player for me. And then just when it seemed like that spot that I was fishing the last one, they just sit out and then they pull up and they just keep reloading. The amount of fish that are there is absolutely insane. So I tried to do something to target those fish a little bit better, the ones that were out, you know, pulling off and not right up eating right away. And that's when I just started throwing a Mega Bass Vision 110. Changed out the hooks here. Just got your Mustad triple grips on there. They're good enough for KVD. They're good enough for me. That was on an Action Jackson by JB3. It's a 6'10" medium. Pretty good jerkbait rod. Really good rod for like smaller topwaters as well. On a 7.3 gear or 7.0 gear ratio reel, and I had 15-pound line on there because it wasn't super deep, and I just wanted something to help keep that bait up just a little bit. But I feel like something that paws in their face instead of swimming a swim bait by them over and over again. Something that paws right in their face definitely got a couple more to trigger. So I did end up calling up a couple times with that. But those were definitely the biggest players for me. Definitely not my best event that I had on the Mississippi River. I don't know what it is about that place, but the past couple of years and the past couple of times I've been over there, I do have pretty good practices. And I've only had that turn into decent events twice. And they weren't even like super stellar events, but it was one of those times where I could get bit. Where I found them in practice, I could get bit there. So the one thing that I always end up doing there is just fishing around, trying to find something different. I do think this last event kind of got me a little bit scatterbrained with how much I was running around a bunch when I knew I should just put the trolling motor down in an area and pick it apart. And I didn't do, and it showed in the guys who did really well, like Steve Lopez, obviously the winner, Matt Steffen. Those guys just put their trolling motor down and picked apart an area and caught the better quality that lived there. So kudos to those guys. It was super awesome to see those Wisconsin guys that fished all year do really well in that tournament. Of course, the locals, you know, some of the guys who were expected to do well did well. So good for them. What a season it's been. Gosh, it was so much fun getting to travel around with Laker, Nordby, Ethan Green, Marshall, the whole Robinson clan. It's just been a blast. I mean, I've been super blessed to get to know them, get closer with them. I mean, they're lifelong friends. We're more like family than we are just friends and travel partners. I can't say thank you enough to all my sponsors and everybody that supports me. I have them linked down below. If you like what I'm doing, support them because they're the people that are supporting me. And yeah, I'm just really ready to go. Marshall made it to the BPT. He got Rookie of the Year. Kudos to him. A lot's going to change this offseason. You know, Marshall, I've talked with Marshall. He said he might cherry pick a couple tournaments here and there. Laker and Andrew will be back, but Andrew's got twins on the way. I'm super blessed to have twins coming for him, a boy and a girl. I'm just really excited for them. That's going to be awesome. Laker's getting married, and there's just a lot of things going on this offseason, so it's going to be really exciting. But yeah, man, that's the end of the year for me. Got a lot of prep to go into 2024. They haven't released a schedule or anything yet, so we don't know where we're going yet. But I'm really looking forward to figuring it out. But in the meantime, I'm going to pull this Bass Cat Era apart, get the wrap off it, get it all cleaned up, and get it ready to be sent off to a new home. Somebody's going to completely love this boat. I absolutely loved it. I've been fishing in it for 3 years. I fished the Bassmaster Opens in it. I fished the Toyota Series in it. And I fished my first year of the Invitationals in it. I'm taking immaculate care of, you know, just the general maintenance, trying to make sure everything's perfect with it. I love this boat. I love this hull. The motor's been phenomenal for me. Everything on this boat working flawless. So yeah, it was a great boat for me, and somebody else is going to get to enjoy it too. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. I'll have a lot more videos coming down. Rigging in the new boat, getting that thing all ready. Got some different setups coming up that I'm excited to, you know, try out. And we're hopefully going to get out on the water, maybe fish a couple local tournaments with a couple friends and stuff later on in the year. So I think by the time that I get the new boat ready to rock and roll, it's gonna be the middle of September, and that fall bite's gonna be ready to rock. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for new stuff coming down the pipes. See ya.